across the sun now. Across the sun now.
Agriculture is 80% of our economy in Kenya. So I can advise them to do agricultural courses.
They take the agricultural courses.
Yeah, they take the agricultural courses.
Iko pesa.
Iko pesa.
Oh, umeona pesa. Lakini unajua wewe ni mwana biashara bana.
Yeah.
Make a date with me every Monday to Friday, 7:15 to 9:15 in the morning here at the Farmers Media, the breakfast show. Let us start the day right here. This is No One Else Here.
Naona kwanza watakuwa 100. How do you shake? Fanya ile kutetea hapo.
Welcome to Farmers Breakfast Show right here from County 034. Your host Noah Nasiali Kadima, and today we are going to talk about bees, and what happens in a beehive. Today is a very interesting day for you who is joining us today, because September marks a very interesting day for beekeepers and apiculture as a practice in total, because it is the month that we inspect our beehives to get to understand what is in the beehive. Are there any insects, any pests? Is it conducive for honey production? And more importantly, is it conducive for the bees to be in so that they can produce the honey? And everything about it. So we are going to discuss so much more about beekeeping right here from County 034. But most importantly, we have an expert in the house, and we would like to introduce the expert to introduce himself so that we can now get into some of this discussion.
Thank you very much. Asante sana.
Yes.
Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Yes.
My name is Solomon Daudi Mwanzo. I'm an apiarist by professional. We do everything about beekeeping in the larger apiculture. So I'm very happy to have this opportunity to talk to the farmers, to add knowledge to them on how do they go about it.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Now, for those who are joining us, this is the Farmers, and remember to follow our social media handles, but also remember to go and look for Solomon Daudi Mwanzo, and you will get so much more expert knowledge. We see here today we are groomed to get into a beehive. Later on, we'll be actually visiting an apiary, and we'll inspect the apiary, and we'll bring you this as part of Diagnostics Tuesday.
Sure.
So, is it an apiculturalist or an apiarist?
Okay. There are two terminologies here.
Yes.
One, we have the apiculturist, and we have an apiarist.
What is the difference?
The difference is an apiarist is somebody with the technical knowledge and skills.
Okay, interesting.
An apiarist, an apiculturist is the beekeepers, people who practice beekeeping.
Very interesting.
That's the difference.
Hey,
Yes.
Today is beekeeping 101.
Yeah. Sure.
When did you start?
Oh, beekeeping we started very long time, because my dad used to keep bees, but in a traditional log hives.
The long one.
The long ones.
Yes.
So now I got the interest from that.
Yes.
Because I saw him gaining some good money,
Yes.
and which was making him live well.
Yes.
But now there was an inadequate knowledge about handling them, because you find that with modern beekeeping, there is a lot which have been improved, which leads to more yield in terms of honey harvesting and other value addition products. Yeah, so by so doing, that's when now when I learned that people can go to school and get more knowledge about beekeeping, I committed myself.
Very interesting.
Yes.
So you learned this from your dad.
Yeah.
So is it that you got interested in, or was it part of punishment? You know, sometimes we as farmers, we say utaenda kwa shambani ufanye nini?
No. No, it was not a punishment. No, I got interested because I got interested because when it came to harvesting time,
yes,
he used to take me there. So I'll get to see all the activities taking place, but not by me. Yes. But sometimes I'll excuse myself and tell Dad, let me do something. Yeah.
So I
developed interest from that.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Do you think that is something that farmers in general can be able to introduce to their children?
Yeah, actually is a venture whereby in the larger agricultural sector, yes, this is the only enterprise whereby when you venture in, it is able to give you to break the even in first harvest.
Really?
When everything is put into consideration.
So now let me ask you, before you even get into the business aspect of
yeah.
What is beekeeping?
Oh, beekeeping.
Is it livestock? Is it part of livestock?
Beekeeping is livestock keeping. Is livestock.
So now tell us in totality,
yeah,
what beekeeping is,
okay,
what it involves,
okay,
and I will just jump into.
Okay, thank you very much. Beekeeping, first of all, bees are classified under the livestock.
Yes.
Bees are livestock.
Yes.
So for people who develop phobia about bees, yes, they should keep it off, because it's just like the way you keep cows, yes, the way you keep goats at home, the way you keep your pets. Yeah, so it's a livestock. That's wonderful about it. Now, beekeeping is generally rearing of the honeybees in the man-made hives.
Yes.
In the process of one, acquiring services, offering services, because bees are not only known for, or majority of us only know bees for honey harvesting.
Yes.
But there are more about it. We have also pollination services offered by bees.
Yes.
There are people who keep bees for pollination services.
Okay.
Suppose you farm, you have your 100 hectares of sunflowers, you want them to be pollinated and get the good harvest. You come to me as a beekeeper, you hire my hives. I come and install my hives in your farm for a period of 1 month or 2, depending on our agreement.
Depending on the crops I have.
Yeah, depending on the crops you have.
Okay.
And bees are one of the good pollinators in the environment. Because now, once they pollinate your crops, you are sure that your yield will be very quality. Quality, if it's, let's say for example is mango plantation, you'll have very quality mangoes with good shape, color and size.
So that is work. So that is why beekeeping is an advantage.
That's part of advantage from beekeeping.
Very interesting.
And many people don't know it.
Very, very interesting. So those who are joining us now, we're getting to know much more about just beekeeping than just having honey.
Yeah.
So now, going back to beekeeping.
Yes.
When did beekeeping start? Is it something that was it a by the way? Because I think most people think about bees and think about being stung.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you can if you have to introduce us into beekeeping.
Okay.
Yes. Someone who has no idea.
No idea about beekeeping. Okay, beekeeping, as I've said earlier, is classified under the livestock. Beekeeping is only is kept for several reasons.
Yes.
One, you have to have passion about keeping them.
Okay.
Two, you have to familiarize with them.
Okay.
Because the part of your livestock, you make sure every morning you see them. They also require that.
They want to be felt.
Yes. If you're the person owning the apiary, at least you have to cross your apiary twice a week, if not 4 times. Twice a week. Just passing. You are doing nothing, but you are just going round your apiary. Yeah. So that when you cross, they just know that, this is our keeper going on. So when even it comes to time for harvesting, it will have no havoc, because it has used to people going through. And whenever you are going through your apiary, make sure you are quiet, because bees are agitated by noise.
Hello,
no. You remain quiet. You put your phone silent. Then you just have them. You can go as inside their house.
And they won't attack you.
And they won't attack you, because they are becoming used to. The only thing that make bees attack people is only that we have this habitual whereby if you install your hive, that's the end of you going there until the day of harvest. Now when you come to harvest, they treat you as an enemy, because they are not used to anybody passing near them.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Solomon,
yes, sir.
This is a very interesting discussion, and I think one of the challenges that we have seen technically as farmers, especially beekeepers,
Yeah.
is that you just buy a beehive and then you go and wait for the harvest.
Okay.
Where do we go wrong?
Okay, thank you.
Or even before that, what does someone do to not go wrong?
Okay,
Yes.
Thank you very much. Before you decide that you are going now to venturing into beekeeping, there are factors to consider. One of the factor, you have to get an expert to come and advise you, because not every place you can set your apiary and get ready.
Okay.
There are some of the things to be considered. One, factors to consider when siting an apiary.
Yes.
One, when you want to start your apiary, you have to get an expert like me now, an apiarist, to come and go around do visibility assessment of the ground. One of them, there should be plenty of clean fresh water, because bees take in water as you do,
Yes.
and also they use water in the hive.
Yes.
For example, when the temperatures are so high, they just go deep in the water and come in, flap their wings inside the hives to lower the temperatures to an optimum.
So
the hive
source
temperatures
of water should not be far from the bee.
should not be far from beehive. That's one. Two, there should be plenty of bee plant forages
Around the bee.
around the beehives, because bees can go to 3-kilometer radius looking for nectar and pollen, which are the main. Yeah, 3 kilometers radius. But now, radius. But now we have to reduce that distance by planting bee plant forages around your apiary and the farm in general. Yeah, so that now you avoid maybe accident, because bee also get accident on their way. You know that there are some birds feed on bees. So the far they go looking for forages, they might be attacked and not coming back home. So that by so doing, that one will lower the number of your colony, which makes your colony be weak.
Okay.
Yes.
Very interesting.
Yes.
So how do you?
The other thing is about you have to be free from pesticide areas.
Okay.
Yeah, because some of the pesticides are poisonous to the bees.
Okay.
You spray your farm, bees go there for forages, get contact with that poison, then it dies there.
Very interesting. So how does someone site a bee hive site?
A big hive site. It depends now. Once you have that expert on the ground doing the visibility assessment, he'll now advise you accordingly in as much as how many hives can be accommodated here, which type of hives do you prefer, because we also have customers' preference.
Yes.
There are people who prefer Langstroth hive. There are people who prefer Kenya top bar hive, depending on their reasons.
Yes.
You see? So now from there you can advise as per the size. How many hives will be accommodated here? How many colonies will be brought up here? Yeah, all those questions will be answered by the expert.
Very interesting.
But now you find people just buying hive, bring them to the apiary and leave them. Now they are using the one method we call the let alone method. You know, in installing stocking hives, we have methods. We have around 3 methods. One, we have let alone method, whereby you just bought an hive, just install and you leave there for bees to come on themselves. The others were baiting. Yeah, baiting method. You get the hive and you bait. The other thing is splitting the colony, division of one hive with a strong colony. You just get another empty hive, then you bring an expert, carries on the division of colonies.
But when you bring the division of colonies, does that mean that that beehive has 2 queens? Because we thought
no, not at all. What we do, if the colony is strong, that means if you divide, now the worker bees, when the worker bees, they sense that the colony is queenless, they get that mandate of raising several queens.
So where do these queens come from?
These queens comes from one, we know very well in the hive, we have 3 types of bees. We have the queen, the worker bee, and the drones. Each play different roles.
So you have the queens?
Queen?
The queen? So
Yeah.
it's only 1 queen?
Yeah, 1 queen per colony. But now I'll tell you how will another queen be developed.
Okay.
Once worker bee and the drones.
Okay.
Yeah.
So even the
Queen is a female, and the worker bees are all females.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes.
I read somewhere that all the drones are men.
Yeah, all the drones are men.
Interesting.
And their work is just for mating. Once mating is over, they have no business in the hive. They are also chased away. from the hive.
I thought that there's only one female in the beehive.
No.
Naona sasa watakuwa undressing. How do you shake? Fanya ile
In the hive.
Do you have a pen and a paper? For those who are watching. I'm looking. I'm feeling like I'm in a class.
Yeah. Surely it's more. Yeah. So. The ovaries of all worker bees together. After now that sterilization, that now leaves the laying of eggs activity is left for the queen only. But once the queen is absent in the colony,
Yes.
the queen substance also will be absent
When the queen is when the queen is absent from the colony,
from the colony.
the substance.
The substance queen substance is also absent.
So can we say that the other ones are princesses? You know, you become a princess. Before you become a queen, do we say that the other ones are princesses?
No, we are coming. Now
Yes.
from the hive.
Yes.
Now the ovaries are active,
Interesting.
whereby they'll be also able to lay eggs. Are we together?
Yes.
Among the many eggs which will lay, they'll select a few queens. The difference now come here. The feeding mode.
Okay.
The mode of feeding. Queens, from after they select some eggs to develop into queens,
Yes.
they now start feeding those eggs with what we call royal jelly. Royal jelly is the food for the queen in the colony, in the hive.
For those who are watching us,
Yeah.
I hope you have a pen and a paper.
And the pepper
Because
soup.
this is Agriculture 101.
Sure.
This is actually Apiculture 101.
101.
So let me ask you.
Yes, sir.
To ask ourselves something very interesting.
Yes.
And I want us to go back into that description.
Yeah.
Because I'm actually seeing some people are actually asking for you to start that again.
Okay.
You've said that how to actually make another queen.
Yeah.
So let us start again from you explaining about that, what is happening inside the bee.
That procedure.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. One, I say that we have three types of bees
Yes.
in a colony.
Yes.
We have the queen, the workers, and the drones. Queen and the workers, all of them are female bees.
Where?
But now we have what is produced. There is a chemically secreted
Yes.
by the queen bee, which is known as the queen substance in the hive.
Yes.
When the queen substance is present in the hive, that substance will not allow the worker bees to lay eggs. In short, we say that it sterilizes the ovaries of a worker bee.
So only one female bee, the queen,
Yeah.
that will be able to lay eggs.
Yeah, it will be laying eggs.
The rest will be sterilized.
The rest will be sterilized.
It is called a what?
Queen substance.
Queen substance.
Queen substance.
Anatoka kama moshi.
Yeah, anaitwa kama moshi. And anai-secrete from the body. Kutoka kwa mwili yake. Inadondoka kwa mzinga. Ina take cover kwa mzinga. Now, the eggs now is left to the queen. And you know that queens only goes mating once in her lifetime. Yeah. Know that?
Okay.
It goes mating once in her lifetime. And the lifespan of a queen is 5 years living, but is only prolific or productive 2 years, for the first 2 years.
Hii ulisomea wapi?
Ni kwa shule. Tunaingia kwa shule.
It mates only once.
It mates only once. And it is done up on the sky, not near the hive colony. They also have respect. They have also respect. That means that they are avoiding inbreeding. The queen cannot mate with the drone from his own or her own colony.
So it goes out of the colony.
It goes out of the colony up on the sky. Around.
It goes out. Is it escorted?
When it goes out, it goes alone, releasing the pheromone. The pheromone which will attract the drones. from other colonies to come and mate. And it mates with around 8 to 10 drones per flight. There and there, once the spermatheca is the ovary, the bag, let's say the bag, let's call it a bag, whereby it stores the semen. Now, once the spermatheca is full, it gets back to her colony.
And starts laying.
After getting back to a colony, it takes around 8 to 10 days. Then it starts laying eggs. It will lay eggs for 2 years consecutively, productively. And it lays 1,500 to 2,000 eggs per day.
So if you have a beehive and it's not colonized, you have the
now it's all pheromone.
Sex attractant pheromone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whereby it will now yeah.
Can human beings use that sex attraction?
Yeah.
It comes back to the colony.
Yes.
Its own colony.
Yeah.
So how does it know that the drones are not its drones? The drones in its colony?
I think they communicate with their pheromone. Yeah. And the issue of going far away from its own territory is to avoid these drones. So and because the drones from her colony, they won't follow her. They won't follow her.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Yeah.
Okay, continue.
Okay. Now, after that, the colony, it stays for 8 to 10 days, then start laying eggs. Right. Bear in mind that it is being fed. It is being fed by the worker bees. Their worker bees are assigned to feed the queen. And they only feed the queen with the royal jelly. All through.
Until for 2 years.
For 2 years. Not for 2 years. Yes, the rest of his life. But now, through inspection, we can go and identify now the queen is infertile. There are some signs that you'll study from the comb. The egg laying pattern. The queen should lay eggs from, for example, this is the comb, the frame of the hive. The prolific queen, not the prolific queen.
The producer can be able to show the. Just continue.
Yeah. Yes. Now it should be laid from the center, coming outwards. That's what we call a perfect pattern.
So it's like it's multiplying.
Yeah, it's multiplying. Yes. But now.
Because it's not as fertile as
it's not fertile as it would be. Now the queen and raise another one. I leave for the worker bees to raise another new queen, or I kill the queen and I do what we call artificial raising of of queen. Yeah, there is also that.
So you bring another queen in.
Yeah, I bring another queen in.
Let me ask you one very important question.
Yes.
So we have the queen.
Yeah.
That it has secreted something that now has made the other bees.
Yeah, the
worker bees
sterilize their ovaries.
So now, if you want to raise another one, do you raise how do you then raise another queen from the same colony?
Okay, before there's what we call dequeening. Dequeening is just a professional terminology whereby you kill the existing queen. Because bear in mind that there is no any colony with the two queens.
Yes.
If there is, they'll fight. A very serious battle. And the loser will be killed. And now the winner will take over the colony.
Interesting.
Yes.
So the queen is the commander-in-chief?
Yes, the commander-in-chief of the colony.
Wow.
Or the queen. Yeah. Now, the queening, now I requeen again. Requeening is replacing. You see? Yes. Now what we'll do, there are two ways to replace a queen. One, I'll just leave for the worker bees to raise another queen. Because after they sense that the queen substance is absent from the hive, that means that now the ovaries of the worker bees will be activated. And they start laying eggs. After laying eggs, they choose a few. Because a colony can raise 12, let's say 12 to 18 queens.
Yes.
But bear in mind that the first one to emerge will kill the rest, which will follow. To make sure remain dominant.
The first queen to arise?
Yeah, the first queen to emerge. Because a queen from the egg, from the egg to adult queen takes 15 days.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Hey. So let me ask you, who makes it a queen? Does it prove itself a queen by finishing the other ones, or what does that happen?
No, what they do after they start feeding the egg laid by the royal jelly,
Yes.
now automatically that one will come out as a queen, right?
So the first one to feed and become
Yeah, you know, every egg is laying on its own time. And bear in mind that for it to mature, it has to take 15 days.
Yes.
So you find that the first egg to be laid, that means that's the first will emerge.
That is the first queen
To emerge. The first queen will emerge.
Yes.
Now after emerging,
Yes.
then
Let me ask you.
yes.
As we're doing this, what is then happening? There's no honey production going on.
Look, actually everything will the egg laying activity will come to a standstill.
Okay.
But the other activities are going on, because if it's foraging, foragers are going for forage.
Okay.
They are bringing back. So there is food. And remember that there are some eggs which were left
With the previous.
with the previous queen.
Ah.
They have to be fed.
So
So the activity is going on. The only thing that now the queen has not the commander, whereby they has to raise another one.
Yes.
Yeah, that's one. We can leave to the bees to raise on themselves, or else me as an expert, I might chip in. Compared with the characters, you know, each colony has its own character traits.
And let me ask you.
Yes.
You talked about flight. You talked
Yeah.
about the queen.
Yeah.
How then is the feeding going on? Who feeds the queen? Does she look for the food, or what happens?
No, there are some worker bees assigned to feed the queen, but they only feed the queen inside the colony.
Okay.
Yeah, inside the colony. Once the queen is out, no feeding, because she has gone for mating.
And this is once
In her lifetime. Once in her lifetime. Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
Very interesting. For those who are joining us, we are talking about beekeeping 101. What happens inside a beehive? We always talk about the beekeeping, honey, value addition, and all that. But what happens in a beehive that makes it conducive for the existence of this queen bee, or for the worker bees to continue working, and also for the drones to keep on producing? We are joined by one of the experts in the industry, that is Solomon
Mwanzo.
And Solomon is explaining to us some very interesting things. And as you can see on the table today, we have products. I have a body cream here. We have
Propolis tincture.
polystringent.
Yeah.
We have quite
This milking salve.
milking salve, and then
And that one is a body cream.
body cream.
Yeah,
Very
we have body cream 1, body cream 2.
Very interesting.
Yeah, very interesting.
So we are going to be discussing this and much more today as we continue. We also have a smoker that is here. I have been privileged to join Solomon a few months back in Kitui, when we were getting to understand what beekeeping is all about and the advantages of beekeeping. Today we are talking about this and much more. We will dive into understanding what are the costs involved. Is it a hype? Is beekeeping important for you? What else can you do when you are doing beekeeping? And why is beekeeping important for you as a horticulture farmer with crops that are flowering? Now, Solomon.
Yes.
Let us get down to business.
Yeah.
You have talked something very interesting.
Yes.
One of the things that I would like to talk about as we continue
Yes.
is how do you, we mentioned a few things about how to get to understand where the apiary should be and all
Yeah.
that.
Yes.
How do you identify bee plant forage?
Or bee plant forage.
Because I've seen beehives in areas that are really dry,
Yeah.
but I've not seen the flowers, because sometimes I think food farmer thinks flowers should be things like sunflower,
Okay.
the big flowers that you can see a flower.
Okay.
How do you identify the forage? And yeah,
Okay. It's very simple. It's very simple, because forage, any plant that you see bees visiting,
yes,
that means it has something taken from that plant. So that one is enough to tell you that this plant is bee friendly.
okay. So it does not necessarily mean that it has to be a yellow flower.
No, it does not necessarily mean a yellow flower or red flower. If even white flower, bees can visit. As only that they are proboscis. We have what called the proboscis in a bee body,
Yes.
whereby they used to suck the nectar from the lower part of the flower.
Okay.
As long as that proboscis can reach the nectar, that one is qualified to be a bee forage plant. Yeah, the what we talk sunflower is okay. We have the red bottom brush. That's okay.
It's one of the best.
Yeah, one of the best. The canola, one of the best. Maize also.
Maize?
Yes, because you see, there are two things, raw material which are used by bees in making their products. One is the nectar. Nectar is the raw material for making honey.
All right.
Yes. Then we have the pollen.
Yes.
The pollen now that acts as food for the brood in the hive. So you make sure as a beekeeper you balance the two crops. Because you find one of them, one of the beekeeper or one of the farmer can lack that experience and make sure that he plant, but unfortunately he plants all the plants only producing pollen, no nectar. That means.
Wait. What is the difference between pollen and nectar? for the purpose of the farmers. The same
Yeah.
How do you identify a flower that has pollen and not that has nectar?
Now,
It's all about.
you see now.
You have been there for a whole day.
There are many things to talk about apiculture. You see now,
Yeah.
like now, maize produce only pollen. You see?
Yes.
So now,
So you have pollen,
yeah,
but no nectar.
no nectar.
So pollen, what is the purpose of pollen?
The purpose of
nectar.
the purpose of pollen, pollen is act in the hive as food for the brood.
Wait, pollen is food for the brood.
Yes.
So brood means what? The drones and
Oh, the brood, no.
Yes.
The brood are the eggs which are aligned in different developmental stages. That's what we call the brood. Before they emerge,
Yes.
we call them as a brood. We term them as a brood.
So technically before they hatch.
Yeah, before they hatch, that's a brood.
So
And that one will determine the strength of your colony. If the brood is much in the hive, that means you'll have more bees emerging. More bees emerging, which means will translate to strong colony. And strong colony will translate that to many foragers.
and you learned all this in how long?
In class, in 1 year. That's the 1 year course, beekeeping, certificate level 5.
So that is pollen.
Pollen.
What is nectar?
Nectar is a liquid secreted by the flowers themselves. It is a sweety, tasty water in the flower. There are some flowers when we were young. There are flowers that we used to go and pluck then that's the nectar.
Like which flower?
That's the nectar. That's the nectar. That's the nectar. For example, now the whatever I've talked about, the red brush.
Yes,
Red brush.
yes.
The red brush has nectar. Has nectar. Sunflower has pollen, but not much.
So does it matter? Because we see, and I think our director will be able to showcase
Yeah.
the two different. Actually, I saw two different bottles
Yeah.
of honey
Yes.
from the same area.
Yeah.
How do you differentiate the dark brown honey and the light brown honey? Is it different types of pollen or nectar or not? I don't know.
Different.
So pollen is the food for the brood
Yes.
to make sure the eggs that are hatched
Are
come out
fed,
stronger,
come emerging stronger.
and so that helps you
They'll
develop
have
the
the colony.
And the nectar does what?
The nectar now, nectar is taken straight to the manufacture of honey. It is converted into honey, whereby the bee itself have what we call the honey stomach.
Yes.
To the honey stomach, it sucks out the moisture,
From the flowers.
not from the flowers, from the nectar.
From the nectar.
Yeah, you know when nectar it is taken from the flower as a liquid form.
So now they look at flowers as pollen and nectar. They don't look at flowers as flowers.
They
no longer flowers.
okay. They just go for foraging, but as they forage, they know what they are targeting.
Okay. So inside the stomach they have the
Honey stomach. Yeah, and they also have pollen baskets.
These are small things.
Yeah, this is a small thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the legs. In their legs.
The baskets are there.
Yeah, the baskets are there.
Okay.
So that when they go for pollen, they just plaster the pollen in their pollen baskets. If it is nectar, they suck through the proboscis into the honey stomach.
Yes.
Whereby when they go to the hive, inside the colony, they'll remove it back. But they first of all suck out the moisture content and pass it to the next bee.
Yes.
And the process go on until the last bee deposit the nectar now in terms of honey in the what? In the cell of a comb.
Solomon.
Yes, sir.
This is very interesting.
Very interesting to know. And I hope farmers are following.
They're very
Yeah, they're following.
So for those who are watching, this is a Farmer's Breakfast Show. We are talking about beekeeping, the advantages. But even before even looking at the advantages, we're looking at very important aspects of what happens inside the beehive.
Yeah.
How do you make sure as a beekeeper that your beehive is conducive for honey production?
Sure.
So that you can be able to get this. We will be taking a very short break, and when we come back, we want to ask ourselves some specific questions. Solomon, when we come back, we want to ask ourselves which areas in Kenya specifically are conducive and friendly for beekeeping.
Okay.
Which counties, Log Hive, Langstroth, Kenya Top Beehive, which is the best?
Okay.
What are these services that you as an apiarist offer?
Okay. Okay.
Yes. So we will be taking a short break, and as when we come back, we'll discuss this and much more. This is a Farmer's Breakfast.
Thank you.
Welcome back to a Farmer's Breakfast Show, and as we are discussing this, we are discussing a very interesting topic today. We are discussing about beekeeping, why it is important, how you as a farmer, beekeeping farmer, how can you be able to succeed in this aspect of beekeeping? What do you do to make sure that all your beehives are colonized? But more importantly, what is the science and the art of the activities going on in the beehive? And apart from that, we are going to discuss something very interesting. You can see something in front here.
It is a smoker.
It's a smoker.
Yes,
we are going
smoker.
to see why it is important, why should you have it, what is the component.
We also have the bee brush.
Yes, we have the bee brush. We have some of the tools that are
the hive tool.
The hive tool, it looks like a chuma tool.
The gloves.
Yes,
and
the gloves. We are going to discuss that.
Yeah.
And we will also discuss business. We're going to discuss apiculture as an alternative source of revenue.
Yeah.
Very interesting. All this information is very critical, especially when it comes to value
addition products.
Whether do you sell honey or do you sell the byproducts? I am joined by an expert, an apiarist expert, that is Solomon Daudi Mwanzo, who is also a colleague of mine at the Kajiado Bee Cooperative Union, where we are trying to sensitize farmers on beekeeping as an alternative. But the reason why we're discussing this today, and Solomon will tell us in the next few minutes, is what is the significance of the month of September when it comes to beekeeping? What is the most important part of it?
Sure.
Solomon,
yes,
thank
sir.
you and welcome back.
Thank you.
which areas in Kenya are bee friendly?
Okay. Actually, there's no any part in Kenya that you cannot rear bees.
Interesting.
Because every part have got its species.
Ah.
Yes.
When bees, not just bees.
Not just bees.
Interesting.
The species. For example, there are bees which are popular in Mount Kenya, those region of highlands. Where there are bees which are popular in coastal regions. For example, in Mount Kenya, we have what we call Apis mellifera monticola. Those are the bees that are found in Mount Kenya region. Apis mellifera monticola.
That one.
Yeah.
So that is the Mount Kenya.
Yeah, species or breed on that nature. When you go to coast, when you go to coast, you go to Apis mellifera litorea.
For the hotter areas.
Those are all for the coast, hotter areas. They have different characteristics and color, whatever. Yeah. And then when you come now to these plain lands,
yes,
we have what we call Apis mellifera scutellata. Those are the popular known in there, in these areas. Then we have which are found in deserts. Okay. The areas of Garissa, South Sudan there. Yeah. The really hot areas. So actually, to me, every part have its own breed. So it's only that you get yourself to passion that you have to have beekeeping, get an expert, advise you what to do, how to set your apiary, how to install your hives, what you look check in the hives before you purchase, and so on. Then the baiting method, how to install. You know, there is buying a beehive, and there's what to install bees.
Okay, so buying the beehives, which I want to get into now.
Yeah.
And that's buying of the beehives is just one step.
Yes, just one step.
Anybody can do that.
Anybody can do that.
But getting the bees
inside your hive,
is now
a game changer. And now beehives, there are specific trees which produce timber for making beehives. Not any tree that you can make timber for beehives. Okay. Because some of the trees are bee repellent. So once you go and land for a business person who is just engaged in business without beekeeping knowledge, just getting any tree that is just cut down and make hives, then you fall under the timber used to make your hive is a bee repellent timber. Will you expect any bee in that hive?
Now there's bee repellent timber also.
Yes. Yeah. The only trees which recommended for beehives we have gravelia. It's good, but it has short lifespan. Because of if it comes to contact on water, and we have the wood borax.
Yes.
Yeah, those wadudu wanatoboa inatobolewa haraka. So your lifespan yake ni chache. So we have the pine, cinder, cypress, and podu.
These are the best.
Those are the best for bees. Yeah, for beehives. So that's the first point that you'll inquire from the person selling beehives.
Something interesting that you've said.
Yeah.
That they are the trees that repel bees.
Yep.
So if you make your beehives with this,
that kind of timber,
there's no bee.
Don't expect any bee in that. Yeah.
Very interesting.
And then another thing, there are some people who make beehives. They make with correct timbers, but they put petroleum wax. I think you have the case where when we went to Kitui, there was an old man with around 10 to 20 hives, which are neighboring the log hives, whereby the log hives were full with colonies, and there was not a single.
Yes, I think we'll definitely be playing the video of him telling us and giving us expert advice.
Yeah, and the problem was when we went in with the expert from the Lanana beekeeping, that madam Bosbori.
Yes.
She find that what was wrong is just the baiting was done with petroleum wax.
So how does a farmer know all this?
Okay, one, bee wax is normally yellow and has sweet aroma. Petroleum wax, it's white.
So bee wax is
yellow, for the purpose of the audience.
Basically it's like,
you see, it's like that. That one is bee wax. It's like that.
So it is yellow,
yellow in color, and it has sweet aroma. When you smell, bring to even if you have candle from bee wax, it smells good when it burns in the house. Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Yes.
So then where does
the game changer is there?
So that is the beginning. The house,
hiyo nyumba ya nyuki. The house, that's where you begin. Upate imetengenezwa na mbao mzuri na imewekwa wax mzuri.
Okay.
Yes.
So don't just go and complain at you.
Yeah. Mbao fake.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
So for you as a farmer, if you're joining us, I hope you have a pen and a paper. But this is one of the things, very interesting discussion that we are having today. And I can see one of my friends, Frida Okech, has actually joined in the discussion and getting to understand much more. So now, we've talked about the different species of bees for the different areas. Now let us go into this housing. We've talked a lot about the wood, the timber, and all that.
Yeah.
I know from my own little experience,
okay,
1% experience in beekeeping.
Yes.
I've heard about the log hive.
Yes.
I've heard about the Langstroth.
Yes.
And I've heard about the Kenya top bar.
Sure.
Which is the best?
Okay, all of them are best.
Or I can ask, which is the best for which areas?
Okay, all of them are best, depending on you as an investor. What are you targeting?
Investor.
Sasa utakuwa investor. Sasa wewe ni investor. Sasa umetoka kwa beekeeping kwa sababu unaangalia ni gani iko na manufaa. Pesa. Sasa wewe ni investor. Unaona? But now all of them have their benefits. But now I'll talk about, the problem with the old hives. That's the Langstroth. And no, sorry, not Langstroth, the log hives. The log hives. They're also different log hives. Yeah, they're also different log hives. We have also modern log hives, whereby now the queen excluder is inserted in. You see, because now the difference is the log hives there before it has no queen excluder, so the queen was laying all over the hive.
Oh yes, the older ones.
The older ones, yes, without queen excluder. But now they are whereby the queen is restricted to a certain area, whereby now the other area is remained for honey.
So let me ask you.
Yes.
When this the extruder is this net, this wire mesh.
Yeah, that's wire mesh. The coffee wire mesh. No, coffee wire mesh. Yeah.
So that is where the eggs are.
That's now where it acts like a door or a curtain.
Yes. So that is where the eggs are deposited.
Now, if not from the entrance, yes, from the entrance you have to have some space. Then you put the queen extruder.
Yes.
Once the bees come through the entrance, that means the queen will be on that side.
Okay.
Now the queen will be laying activity will take part from that side, from the entrance to where the queen extruder is.
Okay.
Now the secret is the queen is big, so it cannot penetrate through those small holes. You see, right, but the worker bees can penetrate
to take food.
To take food, not take food, but to take the surplus. Now the surplus is just placed as honey. After feeding the queen was okay. The brood are fed well. Yes. The food is surplus there. Now the surplus is taken by the worker bees on the other side and stored as honey. And bear in mind that they are storing for future use.
So let me ask you.
Yeah.
So these bees are not doing this for us.
They are not doing that for us. We are just robbing. We are robbing them. We are robbing.
So when they attack us, when you go there, they know that.
Yeah.
They are not doing this for us at all.
No, they are not doing that for us at all.
They
are storing for their future use.
Hey.
But now, as now investor, if you come with the eye of earning a coin, that's now where we go and rob them. But now, what we do, we make sure even you are harvesting, you don't harvest everything. You don't harvest everything.
Very interesting.
Yeah, you leave some combs with honey, yes, and pollen.
Very interesting.
And this one is majorly done in the modern hives, the Kenya top bar and the Langstroth. But now but they have some also knowledge, because I remember my dad, when we are going for harvesting, he always insists that don't remove everything.
So what is the advantage of each of these types of beehives?
Okay, advantage one, I'll talk about the old log hives.
Yes.
Lifespan. Because they are cut from the logs. I know the logs, some of the trees those trees are very strong.
The traditional.
Yeah, the traditional.
Yes.
So they'll take long. But now the disadvantage of that inspection is quite difficult.
Because you have to open.
You have to open, and you cannot go thorough.
Yes.
Because I remember that harvesting is only done to the length of your hand.
Yes, so that's what they say.
Past your hand, you leave it. Now that one will be the food for the bees. But now with the modern one, whereby you can open and see, and you have the frames, you can lift frames one by one, inspect it.
Yes.
So you make sure you have all the vicinity of the hive. You know what is going on. That's one. Two, the product is offers. Because, for example, let's talk about the Kenya top bar. Yes. The Kenya top bar, that will give you the honey. You can also get the propolis. and the wax, whereby the combs will be processed into wax. Now let's come to the langstroth. Langstroth only get honey because you are not allowed to interfere with the combs, because you are using the honey centrifugal extractor, whereby after decapping, you know, when honey is ready, the bees normally seal with white wax, not the beehives, the combs, the cells, the hexagon cells.
Oh, really?
Once the honey is ready, they seal. Whenever you are going for harvest, we only harvest which honey, the honey that has been sealed. Any honey unsealed honey is not ready for harvesting.
Oh.
And that's how only the technical person can know that. But if you go with anybody else, can harvest everything.
So now, I'm trying to. I'm actually looking at it from a very interesting perspective.
Yes.
You say that bees can be in any habitat.
Yeah.
They can be across the country.
Yeah.
Any type of area.
Any type of areas have their own species.
So does that then mean? I don't know if our director will play this again.
Okay.
We have the lighter shade of honey, and then we have a dark one.
Okay.
What?
Now depends on the forage material. Forage material. The kind of flowers that the bees are stored when foraging. That will depend on the color of the honey.
I'm actually being told that it is actually on air.
Yeah.
Because some people say
that means the only thing we know about honey is that the darker honey is more nutritious than the light honey.
Because of the forage that has.
Yeah, because we have the mono honey, whereby the bees forage one kind of flower.
Okay.
For example, you have planted sunflower in your farm.
Yes.
Then I've brought my hives there. That means that whatever I'll have it is mono honey. Because it's used one kind of flower.
Very interesting.
But we have poly honey. That means the bees have two different types of flowers. And that one now is more nutritious than the mono honey.
So that means that you need to plant different types.
Yeah, different types of bee crops that have flowers.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, very interesting. That.
Yeah.
So now we know of the Langstroth, Kenya top hive, the nog hive.
Yeah, the cab hive.
The cab hive.
Yes, the basket hive.
Yes.
The back hive.
It's the one that I've seen people even using the plastic.
The plastic also, the plastic tanks, and also the pots.
Yes.
You can rear bees in the pots.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now there are incidences before we go into the floor hive, which is one of the modern hives.
Okay.
We've seen incidences where, and I think our director will also share this image that we have.
Okay.
The beehives have gone and stormed. What is it called? They've stormed a beehive. I think as we wait for it to be played.
Okay.
What happens? What happens to such an incident where the bees have gone and attacked? Really, not attacked. They've gone and even
settled
outside the beehive.
Okay.
Yes. What happens?
One, if the beehive was colonized.
Okay.
And you see now the bees are coming out. Honey is ready. Now the temperatures are so high.
Okay.
So they just come to rest outside the hive so that they'll sustain the temperature, but they'll go back.
Oh, okay. So it is an indication that now
it is an indication that you can do inspection to that hive and see what is happening inside there. Because everything you'll see when you open the hive.
And what time do you do that? Because I don't know if
dealing with bees, we recommend that bees should be dealt as from 5:30 in the evening.
Why 5:30?
Because that's the time when all the foragers are back in the colony.
Okay.
So there is no any other bee coming. Because once you go during the day when the foragers are out, as they come, they'll attack you and they cause harm. Because when they attacked you, immediately one attack you, it marks the site of attack. Now the others will get the pheromone from the colony. They will also come out. So imagine the whole colony coming to attack you.
Yeah.
You might die.
So
5:30, you can transnight if you are attending many hives. But upon 6 a.m. in the morning, stop the activity. Go back and wait again for the 5:30.
So we'll go back into what time to harvest.
Yeah.
So my question is,
yes.
How do you then bait?
Okay, baiting.
Yes.
Okay,
so now you've got a beehive.
You have got the hive. Now, for in case of the Kenya top bar, we have the top bars whereby as lined with the starter comb. That on the starter comb line, you make sure that you apply bee wax.
Okay.
Using the baiting tray. You just heat the wax. It melts into liquid. Then you just get your top bar and dip in that baiting tray, but not dipping everything. You just dip the starter comb line.
Yes.
Yeah, you dip there. Let's make sure the wax has been applied on the starter comb. That's for the Kenya top bar.
Okay.
The Langstroth, we have what we call starter comb sheet or the foundation sheet. It has been to be the frame of the Langstroth pipe. It is engrooved. That's the grooved part.
Yes.
It is for inserting the wax, the foundation sheet. The foundation sheet is also made from the wax, beeswax.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
And the foundation sheet, you find that the machine has already made the hexagon shape. Now when the bees are coming in, they are just coming to raise the cells. Raise the cells in both ends. So in some extent, you have reduced the workload for the bees
to come in
but instead of having first making the foundation sheet, they just raise the cells.
So you've already provided that?
Yeah, provided that frame. So that foundation sheet. It's an advantage. It is an advantage.
Very interesting.
It's very interesting. Yeah.
So now we've talked about the 3 types of actually putting a beehive: the let alone, baiting.
Yeah. That one is we call colonization. Yeah, the hive installation.
So let's dive in a bit deeper.
Yeah.
What a beehive?
Okay.
What are the next steps?
Okay. 1, you have gone and bought a beehive, and make sure you have bought the correct beehive. It has made from the correct timber. It has been engrooved well. Now, get an expert to make installing your hives in the apiary. Baiting must be done either using beeswax, using the lemongrass oil, or the swarm lure, whichever you may get, as per the advice of the expert. Then from there, your hive is ready to be installed in the apiary. And before you install your hive in the apiary, you make sure first you sight for the trapping the swarm. And there is a certain height whereby you have to catch the swarms. After now it is being installed, you see that it has been installed, you just leave there for 1 month for colony to stabilize before you take it to the apiary.
That's the let alone.
That's the let alone method. No, let alone method is whereby you just buy your hive and put in the apiary and wait for God to bring the bees.
We just wait for God to bring for you bees.
Yeah, because the bees are coming on themselves.
Okay.
Yeah, let's say for example it's just like a try and error method.
Okay.
They may come, they may not.
All right.
But now when you go an extra mile of baiting. Yeah, baiting.
So
that means that
baiting?
Sorry.
What do you use for baiting?
For baiting, we use beeswax. That's one. Can use lemongrass oil or swarm lure.
So beeswax is something that you can buy.
Yeah, something. Some you can buy. As a beekeeper, if you have the combs, you can make on your own at home. It's very easy.
So what Solomon is saying is easy. It's easy based on the knowledge.
Yeah.
Don't go and start get an expert.
Sure.
An expert is here.
Sure.
So this beeswax is yes you can make on your own.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Why is it that when you are buying these beehives, that information is not being relayed?
Okay, most of the people, this bees information is very limited to the ground. And the apiaries also are very few. Bear in mind that we are the first lot.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Very interesting. And first of all, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Yes. So this baiting, let's go back to the baiting.
Okay.
So you can use beeswax.
Yeah, beeswax.
And you can also use.
And why are we using beeswax? We are using beeswax because the combs are infused with the bees' pheromone. Get the point?
Yes.
They're infused with bee pheromone.
So when they mix.
So once you have the beeswax, that means already once the scout bee, because we have what we call the scout bee. The scout bee are normally sent by the queen to go and inspect for a new home if there is a problem which has raised in the old home. So once it comes and get in contact with the fumes of the wax, bear in mind that wax is infused with bee pheromone.
Yes.
Now they'll take us. This is another home where we used to be, but we shifted.
So they assume that we used to be here.
It is familiar because of that smell. That's male. There's one for mine I did at home before I came here, and it took only 1 day. 1 day. And the next day was colonized. And there's another one I did. I just installed. I baited using beeswax. Then I installed at noon. By 1, the colony arrived, and they arrived when I'm still getting surrounded and getting into the hive. So it's something which is practical.
The baiting is the best.
The baiting is best.
So when you talk about the beeswax,
yeah, we have the lemongrass oil.
Where do you get lemongrass oil?
Oh, lemongrass oil are sold by these bee companies.
Okay.
Yeah.
How affordable is the bee? Is it?
It's affordable in the bee company, but now, as long as I know, is that they are bought and it's expensive. It's expensive compared with the beeswax. You see.
Then you've also talked about the next other type of
yeah. So we have talked about let alone method. Yeah. We have talked baiting.
Actually, for the baiting.
Yeah, baiting.
About the beeswax.
Yeah.
About lemongrass.
Yeah.
Also mentioned another one.
Swarm lure.
Swarm lure.
Yeah.
What is swarm lure?
Swarm lure. Swarm lure is another substance used for baiting. It's like a lemongrass, but that one now is more thick. More thick. For example, you can take lemongrass oil and take a queen. You bring a queen.
Yes.
Or you dip her inside the lemongrass oil. It dies there. When it dies there, all her pheromone has been released to that lemongrass oil. So it has been more powerful than the way it was.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
One, you can also have the beeswax, melted beeswax. You infuse with the pheromones of the queen.
Okay.
That one is swarm lure. That's how we come up with the swarm lure.
Practically luring
the swarm.
There is a queen here.
There is a queen here. Yes.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
And so, which is the most effective of all?
All of them are effective, depending on who has been used in baiting.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
The baiting techniques.
All right.
Yeah.
So the third part of colonization is splitting the colony.
Yeah, splitting the colony.
How do you go around?
Okay.
And how dangerous is this?
It is not dangerous, but it needs an expert because there are some steps to be followed. One, you have to study and make sure that the colony you are splitting is strong.
Okay.
That's number one.
Yes.
Because if you split a weak colony, it will die a natural death. So one, you make sure the colony is strong.
Okay.
Now, upon it's strong, you have now to make sure also the hive you are splitting the colony to is conducive for beekeeping. You make sure to inspect. Yes. That means cleaning, whatever, and warming, fumigation. You see. Now from there, you go to the strong colony. You take the 4 frames. Okay. 4 frames. The 2 frames should have pollen and honey.
Wow. Interesting.
That's the food for the new colony you're introducing now.
Yes.
And then the other 2 frames should have brood of different developmental stages. That means egg, larva, pupa. They should be there. Now you take them, you put in to the new hive. You scoop some bees from the hive. Maybe 2 hands full. Put in that hive. Then from there, you transfer that hive from the donor colony. The donor colony, now we talk about the hive that you have split. That's the donor colony or the donor apiary.
Yes.
You take it some far distance away. Then from there, you have to do what we call supplementary feeding of the bees. How do we go about it? Supplementary feeding can be done. One, you can mix sugar and water into ratio of 1:1. That means if 1 kg of sugar goes for 1 liter of water and stir it thoroughly, then you put it in the feeder box. We have what we call the feeder box. Yeah. Then you put into the colony you have divided so that because the colony is still weak, they'll feed from that supplementary feeding inside the hive. But you have to keep on check because sometimes it may get stale. And once, the mixture. If it gets stale, that means that it will cause the bees to abscond.
My friend.
So it's a serious activity.
From the way you're explaining, let me remain it baiting.
Okay. That's why now I told you that it needs an expert to carry it on.
But this is only dependent of if you have some beehives
Strong
that
colonies,
already
yeah, strong colonies, yeah,
colonies
strong
and all
colonies.
that.
Suppose we have 5 strong colonies, you can buy other 5 hives. We carry that to colony division. We transfer them from the donor apiary and put it somewhere else for 1 month. Colony to destabilize. Then from there, now the worker bees will raise their own queen.
So they'll not rely on the existing colonies.
No, the colony we have left, the donor colony with its queen.
My friend, let us leave. Let's remain.
Yeah.
I think.
Then the last one we have swarm trapping.
Yes, we've been told to just move closer to the mic.
Okay.
Yes.
Swarm trapping. The swarm trapping is where you find there are some bees which are resting on either on the branches of tree,
Or in the
on the
roofs.
houses,
Yes.
or in the chimneys of the houses. Then you are called to remove them. We are the people concerned about removing them. Once you remove them, you just make sure you have a knife whereby you take them. That's another way of equipping your hive with bees.
So do you put the beehive first somewhere, and then that's when you come and now transfer, or you have you move them into the.
When doing that, we use what we call the catcher box.
Okay.
The catcher box. You'll come with the catcher box.
Where the queen goes in.
Yeah, you make sure you shake all the colony to the catcher box.
But why does it go to the roofs?
Oh, sometimes they lack somewhere comfortable to live. So they just hang there for some time as the scout bees are doing their research on where to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yes.
So now, very interesting discussion we're having for those who are watching us. This is a Farmer's Breakfast Show, discussing about beekeeping and what happens, especially in a beehive.
Yeah.
We've talked about so much, Solomon.
Yes.
And listening to you, there is a very big gap in the apiaries that are out there supporting beekeepers.
Yes.
Or rather, let me not even say beekeepers, supporting people who have boxes that look like beehives.
Okay.
Where does someone get this knowledge,
Okay.
especially young people who are even coming from college and stuff like that?
Okay.
Where do they get this information? Have you thought of probably mentoring some young people?
Yeah.
Getting this?
Yeah. Actually, to farmers who are willing to organize themselves and have me to their place, I can offer those services of enlightening them on beekeeping. For those who are living from fours and they want to get this knowledge, we have Baraka Agricultural College. It is in Nakuru County,
Yes.
Molo.
Yes.
They are well in training, well equipped in training. Yeah. In fact,
let's take a few minutes.
Yeah.
Allowed.
Yeah,
Let's take a few minutes and just talk to us about Baraka College.
Okay.
That experience.
Okay. Baraka College is a college whereby it's dealing with beekeeping. Okay, it has many enterprises because dairy, fisheries are there. But now, majorly for I went for beekeeping, and it is well equipped with all the instruments needed for rearing beekeeping. And for as per my knowledge, there are no institution right now offering beekeeping certificate 1 year, level 5, and level 4 too. Level 4 is all about craftsmanship.
Yes,
level 5 now you have advanced. Now you do beekeeping and all that science of bees. Management, value addition, processing, installing hives, everything about beekeeping actually. So now for those who are living for fours and they are willing, they have passion about beekeeping, they just go there, they just contact me. I'll make them in charge to that, and they get the 1 year certificate. And when you come out, you'll be a happy man.
I know all of you at Baraka College are very excited.
Yeah.
What is happening here? What is being discussed here?
Yeah.
So, what was that experience as a person who had already practiced beekeeping, having already been an expert? What is this knowledge that you actually got?
Okay.
That you see that is a gap that is in the apiculture.
Okay. One thing about Baraka, I like Baraka one thing because their lessons are more practical than theory, and you do it one-on-one at school, and even they have outreach programs whereby we reach the farmers on their own.
Also during the training.
Yes, during the trainer, during training we were going to field, visiting the farming, harvesting for them, training them, advising them on how to handle beekeeping, hive installation, all that. So they have a program on it. They are carrying beekeeping across East Africa.
Oh,
yes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
So now most of the gap between the beekeepers is that they lack more knowledge about whatever we have talked about here. People think that beekeeping is only buying a hive and hang a hive somewhere, a tree, bees will come there, they'll harvest. Even connecting to the market is also a problem.
That's what we know for a very long time.
Yeah, it's a very problem.
That is what we've been told. We know that, we are told do beekeeping as an alternative, but very interesting as you're mentioning this, and actually the fact that you're saying that in beekeeping there is knowledge that has to be given.
Yeah.
You talked about level 1, level 5, and level 4.
Yeah.
Training and all that.
Yeah.
Are these courses affordable?
Yeah, they're affordable. They're affordable.
Okay.
They're affordable.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now let's get back into something that is very interesting.
Okay.
As we finish.
Okay.
There's something that is very interesting that you have actually given us and told us, something very, very, very interesting.
Okay.
Is that when you see this happening and you enjoy the talking about beekeeping, the activities, equipment, and all that.
Yeah.
When does then a farmer probably harvest? Actually, even before we even ask that, what happens to a farmer? A farmer is interested in actually beekeeping. They've actually managed. They've got the beehives have been colonized. When is it ready for a farmer to harvest honey? And then,
yes.
From now, why I'm looking at that is, even before you answer that,
Yeah.
how many beehives make economic sense? How
Okay.
many beehives should a farmer have to make economic sense?
Okay. Thank you very much for that question.
Yeah.
For a farmer to have economic sense, at least start with 10 hives. 10 hives, from 10 hives and go up.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you make sure that your 10 hives are colonized, each hive just giving to the worst, we will normally talk about the worst scenario. Yeah, worst scenario. So that if now you get to bumper harvest, it will be a surprise and motivational to the farm, to the beekeeper.
Yes.
So each hive can give you 10 kgs of honey.
10 kgs.
Yeah, times 10 hives.
So you have 100 honey.
That's 100 kgs of honey. To the worst case for price, just give it each kg a 500 Kenya shilling. That's to the worst.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you have 500, that's 50,000 shillings.
Yeah.
So how many?
Twice a year.
Twice a year.
Twice a year.
So that is 100,000 shillings.
Yeah, twice a year. And if you are having, that's when we are talking about the Kenya top bar. Because once you are harvesting Kenya top bar, make sure we harvest everything.
Yes.
Leaving only a few top bars for the food for the colony. Okay. And bear in mind that we are also talking about the wax there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and wax is more expensive than the honey. You see. Okay. So it doubles up. If honey goes for 500, yes. Make sure the wax 1 kg goes for 1,000.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So now that you've mentioned that,
yeah.
What should I sell? Should I sell honey or should I sell wax? Now
there, I'll leave for you as an investor to decide. Yes. Your preference. What do you prefer to sell? Each beekeeper has a line. Specialization of line. Which products are you willing or do you intend to deal with in the market?
Which is so I know you talk about now being an investor.
Yeah.
But from your expert.
Yeah.
And in terms of looking at it from a business perspective.
Yeah. And
I have 10 hives. Should I keep 5 for honey, 5 for wax?
No. If you have 10 top Kenya top bar hives. You'll get honey and get combs. From the combs, we process wax. So that is automatic you'll get.
So is there a way that I can harvest more times in a year? Okay.
That means if you go to the land sort, land sort only gives honey.
Yes.
Because you are not allowed to interfere with the combs. Because the frames, you see that the combs are built in the frames.
Yes.
And the frames have wires.
Yes.
So that's why we use the honey centrifugal extractor.
The gray,
the silver, the white silver, stainless. It has some bags. You put the frames, then you rotate. Yes. It brings up the honey out. Yes. By use of the centrifugal force, whereby it scatters object from the center. Yes. So now you leave the combs intact. Mm-hmm. So if you are dealing with the land store, that means if the person with Kenya top bar is doing twice, you will do 4 times a year.
Really?
Yeah.
So if I'm, and that's only for honey.
For honey.
So let's go back to our mathematics.
Yes.
And say we are having our worst case scenario 10 kilos.
10 kilos.
And then we have 10 hives.
10 hives.
And then So that is 100 kilos.
100 kilos.
And then we multiply that by
5. By 4.
By 4. So we have 400 kgs.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario.
Worst case scenario. Multiply by 500.
So that is around 200,000.
Yeah. Per year.
Very interesting for those who are
per year. And bear in mind that beekeeping does not maintain you there. After the inspection is done, you are free to go and do other activities.
So it is a very good side hustle.
It's a very good side hustle, by the way. Everybody may say so. It's a very good side hustle.
Okay.
Yeah. It needs a small space of land.
Yes.
You see, it does not tiresome. You will not say that you look for grass. You look for somebody to look after them. You look for water for them. Yeah, you just have you just make some pan, water pan there. You make sure your water is clean and fresh every day there, and that's all about it. You go about. They forage for themselves.
You have to change water every day.
Not every day, but once a week.
Once a week.
Yeah, every week. Make sure to maintain the freshness of the water.
So let me ask you.
And before that, you have also to put some small sticks to act as floaters.
So let me ask you a very
Yes, please. Yes, please.
We normally say I have 10 cows, 10 sheep, 20 chicken. How come I've never had a beekeeper saying I have X number of bees?
They have no knowledge. But you have said that I have 10 colonies.
And are you able to approximate how many bees form a colony?
Yeah. Actually, a colonies form about 10,000 to 60,000 worker bees. In one colony. One strong colony.
So that is one beehive has...
One beehive, 60,000.
So in these things...
10,000 to 60,000.
And is there a way that you can produce more instead of 10 kilos only per beehive?
Remember that I told you that we are going for worst scenario.
Worst case scenario.
Yeah.
What is the
Actually, the Kenya topbar can give you up to 15 kgs of honey. 15 kgs of honey. Lansdowne can give you up to 12 kgs of honey in the best scenario. You see, but now always when you are working for the mathematics in business, just give the worst scenario so that we avoid demoralization in the business.
Why is it that only in farming we talk about the worst case scenario?
I think it's motivating farmers.
Yes.
Yeah, motivating farmers.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
Very interesting discussion here. For those who are watching us, remember to follow us on our social media platforms so that you can be able to get this and much more information about how to make sure that you are generating revenue. I can proudly say that how you can make extra revenue from your farm.
Sure.
And also apart from that, we're getting into the discussion with our expert Solomon Daudi Mwanzo, who is telling us much more. We want to now ask him some questions. Basically, some of these questions are, Solomon.
Yes.
What services then do you offer?
Oh, fantastic.
Yes.
Thank you very much for that question.
Yes.
One, I offer beekeeping training, hive inspection.
So you can actually just get into the detail of now what is beekeeping.
Okay, beekeeping training
Yes.
is just now to give knowledge on the science of beekeeping. One, after getting a hive, what you do for the bees to equip the hive. After equipping the hive with the bees, what will be done inside the hive, so that to make you sure you have the update progressive records of your colonies. And from there, from the inspection records, you can estimate when do you expect your first harvest.
Yes.
You see?
Yes.
Now those ones, now it will make sure that it will keep you on the track. You'll not be blindfolded about what is happening in your colony. Yes. Because most of the beekeepers, they just have colonies, but they don't know what is happening in the colony. What's the status? What's the status?
Okay.
How does the strong colony look like? How will they play out to see that it is strong? How will they play out so that you get more harvest? That's one. Two, we have also the equipments. I have also to teach or to train people. For example, this equipment here, what is the work? What is its name? How is it should be handled? You see, this is our hive tool.
Yeah, hive tool.
Hive tool.
It's all for opening the
opening the hives.
Yes.
And creating space between the frames or the top bars.
Okay.
And you can also use it to harvest the propolis from the frames or the top bars.
Which
you see? Yeah. Actually, also this part you can use it as a hammer. If there are some loose nails in your hive, use this part as a hammer.
So is there a special kind of metal that is used for making?
Yeah, like the one you are seeing, stainless metal.
It has to be stainless.
Yeah, and it has to be sharp on both ends. Yeah.
All right, interesting.
Yeah, this one now is a bee brush used to brush off the bees from the comb. You know, when you are harvesting,
Yes.
if you go with a person, an experienced person, he'll cause mortality, death, the colony.
Interesting.
And that is very dangerous, because once you lose the colony, that means that everything you ask, it's been a back step.
Okay.
So you make sure when you get the bees, you make sure you harvesting, get your frame, make sure you brush off all the bees back to the hive.
Interesting. And
Yeah.
as you are starting that discussion,
Yeah.
I want us to go to the next part of the almost as we wind up.
Yeah.
What happens, and I think this is a question that my colleague who does the evening drive will actually want to get into
Okay.
in terms of what happens next.
Okay.
But for the purpose of our viewers,
Yes.
your honey is ready.
Honey? Yes. Honey is ready. Yes.
Now you want to harvest.
Yes.
I know of very many solutions that are out there.
Okay.
I've seen about this.
Okay, yeah.
What do you use this smoker for?
Oh, this one is known as a smoker.
Yes.
We use that in the harvesting to calm the bees.
Calm the bees.
Yeah, the smoke calm the bees. One, it's calm the bees by this. Once the bees smell smoke, they sense danger. Upon sensing danger, they go back to their combs, just trying to suck their honey for their last flight. Yeah. What do you do when you sense danger?
Yeah.
Suppose you sense danger in this room. What do you do?
Let me not say, because if I say I run, the police will run.
Okay. They'll be unable to bend their abdomen to sting.
Vile mtoto anashiba mpaka anashindwa kutembea.
Ndio hivyo. Sasa anakuwa hata when you are attending them, they are not able to sting. That's one. Two, the smoke fusing with the pheromone inside the hive.
Yes.
It cut the communication between the queen and other bees.
Which we said earlier, the queen sends a certain pheromone
To
tell people
to direct information.
somebody who's attacking.
Yeah. Now when the smoke is fused with the pheromone, there is no communication.
Yani tear gas.
So yeah, tear gas. So you are the usefulness of the smoker in the hive when you're handling the bees.
Hey, okay.
Yeah.
So that is the purpose of
The purpose of the smoker. Yeah.
Is there any specific thing you put inside?
Yeah, they are fuel. They are fuel. We call fuel. No, we don't put charcoal. You can either use dry grass.
Okay.
You can use wood shavings, and we can use old sisal bag.
Old sisal bag.
Yeah.
So
some people use that smoke might come with that smell, and that smell might inherit into the honey.
Yes.
Whereby if you take your honey to the market, the people will be complaining. So the three I've mentioned, they are the best.
Okay.
Yeah, dry grass, wood shavings, but now also with the wood shaving you have to be keen. Which type of wood are you using?
Okay.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yes.
So as you do this, then
Yeah.
we now want to dive in and start asking ourselves something very interesting.
Okay.
Then I'm harvesting my honey.
Yes. Yeah.
We have some products here for those who are watching us.
Yeah.
Byproducts.
Yes.
Of honey.
Yeah.
Honey.
Yeah.
So, but also there's something that you also mentioned.
Okay.
Propolis.
Yeah, propolis. Yeah, we have propolis. Yeah, harvested.
We also had about bee venom.
We have many things to be harvested. We have the honey.
So
propolis. Yeah.
What is harvested
Yes.
and which is the most profitable and less harmful for the bees?
Okay. We have honey, propolis. We have the wax, comes from the combs. We have the royal jelly, the bee venom. Yeah, those are the benefit of apiculture. You can also sell the bees colonies. You can also sell queens. Yeah, you can rear queens artificially and sell them to the farmers. You see, and one queen goes for 2,000.
One queen or one colony?
One queen,
2,000.
a single queen goes for 2,000 shillings. Yeah. Yep.
And these queens come from the worker bees.
Yeah, we will come from the worker bees.
You have to remove them.
But that's one is in a process known as queen grafting. Queen grafting.
Let's stick to the value addition.
Yeah. Now value addition.
Yes.
Value addition. If you get the wax,
So this is wax.
the wax,
Yes.
there is wax,
Yes.
there is propolis. Whereby with the propolis, we make the propolis tincture. Here it is. This is the propolis tincture.
what is this?
The work of this is the medicine. Is a medicinal. Is a medicine for one cough and flu.
Oh, really?
Yes. and some extent to the ladies, they are what we call cramps. Very important.
Oh, really?
Even in school, we are using to treat them very well.
Oh, really? Very
Yes, it goes for 700 shillings. The market. That bottle, that's a bottle.
700 shillings.
Yeah, that's a bottle.
And how much? Where do you get it from? Which part of the honey? Or
The propolis. Yeah, the propolis. Yeah.
How much is the propolis on its own?
Propolis is expensive because even harvesting it is tiresome because you get bit by bit. It is very rare to get 1 kg from one hive.
Oh, really? How many do you get? How many?
Yeah, maybe 10 hives. Yeah, 1 kilo. 1 kilo of propolis is 2,500.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
And then there's something apart from. We'll come back to this.
Yeah.
We've heard about the bee venom.
Yeah, the bee venom.
That is very expensive.
Yeah, very expensive.
And
very, very tiresome in
how do you
harvesting.
get the bee venom?
Oh, the bee venom is very easy. There are 2 ways to get bee venom. One, there is a machine used to tap the bee venom, but to some extent, it gives shock to the bees. So to me, it is quite ineffective.
Okay.
Because once you affect your colonies,
Yes.
that means that you are getting a loss. But now there is another way of using. It's a local way of getting the bee venom. Just take a glass window plane.
Window clean, yes.
Yeah, window plane.
Yes.
Yeah, a glass window plane. Have the frame it on behind and on bottom it. Put the black polythene paper.
Yes.
And you spray. After spraying,
What do you spray?
I do any perfume, because bees, when you go to bees with perfume,
Yes.
you'll dance to the music. So you spray. To spray is just to agitate the bees.
So they for them to smell.
Smell the perfume. Now they'll have that agitative to sting. Now you're going to place that glass on right away in the entrance, the hive entrance. As they come out and see the black color, they sting. Now the glass will not allow the bee sting to sing. You get now the concept.
Yes.
So now it will just release the venom there, and the venom when the venom it is come into contact to our atmosphere, it is just crystallized immediately.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So in the evening you can go pick your glass and scrub off the venom.
What is the venom used for?
The venom one, it is used for making medicines. It is used to treat cancer, cancerous diseases, especially the breast cancer. That's one. Two, it boosts your immune system. Because if you go for bee training, you make sure you are asked, are you allergic to bees? If you say yes, you are allergic to bees, the first training is just being stung. At least twice a week, thrice a week. To boost your immune system.
And the first training is to be stung.
Yeah. To boost your immune. How do you deal with the bees that you So it boosts your immune system. It also treats arthritis, some kind of arthritis in the body. Yeah, those are the usage of the bee venom, and many others which are still on the discoveries.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Now let's get into the.
Yes. Those are.
I say the easier way of doing this.
Yeah. The easier way.
So this is
Body cream.
This is a body cream.
Body cream.
Wonder Bee.
With the Wonder Bee.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the company where I went for my attachment.
That's right.
So we did after doing. We are given sample to move with them around.
Okay.
Most of people like seeing things. Once you see things, you believe.
Yes.
So now once we go for training, there is this inlet. You have to pull it out.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. You see that's sample one,
Yes.
and this sample two.
Right.
And both of them have different aroma.
Yes.
Yeah, if you smell. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
so for those who are watching, so there's this which like a jelly.
Yeah.
And then there's this more of a cream.
A Mova cream. Yeah. Mova cream. Both of them are body cream.
And the colors.
Yeah, the colors are differed depending on the wax. Depending on the wax.
This is a different wax.
Yeah, the different wax.
So this now brings into very interesting. So this how do you achieve this? So and these two different.
Okay,
ways?
through the wax. With the old wax.
Yes.
If you process the old wax, they have different color with the new wax.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
So with the other products now you mix in.
Okay.
Yes.
So I can see from here you have beeswax.
Yeah.
Then shea butter.
Yeah.
There's oil. The sunflower oil. There's no petrochemical products.
No petrochemical. It is purely organic.
It's organic.
Purely organic.
So then for this, which fetches more in the market?
In terms of honey,
in terms of the value of this.
the value,
Yes.
they fetch the same. This one fetch the same.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
fetch
how
the same.
much of when you mix with other products? What is the percentage of? What is the ratio of beeswax to this other ingredients?
Okay, the ratio of beeswax, you have to. There are some ratios to be considered when you are making them, but now it's quite technical. Until now, we get into a class.
All right.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
And I think that is something that
I'm available for that class.
Fantastic.
Yes,
So I
yes.
think that is something that our I've just taken some parts of it.
Yeah.
From the. So this one is retained. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the trend. Yeah, it doesn't melt.
Very interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
So.
Then we also have milk salve.
Uh-huh.
This is milk salve.
Okay. There's milk salve.
Yeah, for milking cows, goats, dairy, the dairy. Yeah. It also comes from the wax.
So hii ni mafuta ya ng'ombe.
Hiyo ni mafuta ya ng'ombe. Ile ukamua ng'ombe, mbuzi, hivyo hata kondoo.
Okay.
Yeah.
All this from
bees. From bees.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
So for those who have been watching us, this has been a very interesting morning that we've learned so much about beekeeping. Some things that we didn't know, some things that we did not even expect to know even today, having asked Solomon to join us. But the most important bit of it all, as we are learning this and getting this experience, Solomon,
Yeah.
is actually the aspect of making money.
Sure.
And we have seen a number of times where people have actually said that there's a lot of money in beekeeping.
Yeah.
But there are so many challenges that farmers are facing.
Yeah.
As we have the last words.
Okay.
What would you advise people who want to keep
Bees. Okay.
and those who have kept bees and not been successful?
Okay.
And most importantly, because agriculture is a devolved function,
Sure.
where does the county government come to support?
Okay. One, people who are keeping beekeeping is just avoid the gap. The gap is that you have the passion to keep the bees, but you don't have the knowledge. Now that knowledge is the gap, whereby make most of them not succeeding. That's one. So as long as we are around, just try to look around for us.
Yes.
Just come and share. You can share it. You can call us in terms of groups, at a personal capacity level. Like that, we share this same information and we transform this apiculture sector to the county government, because the agriculture sector is the federal government.
Yes.
And let's try as much as have extension officers. You know, beekeeping has been left for quite some time without extension officers. Now we are around, at least can hire extension officers for the wards,
Yes.
for the county, so that the information will be disseminated to the grassroots, to the people who are willing to do that.
Yes.
And by so doing, we'll find that we'll upscale the revenue for the county. Our people will get livelihood.
Yes.
In the market by selling the value-added products and so on. And we find that generally, even in the country,
Yes.
the bee sector will be in the safe side, because up to now we have never achieved our target in honey production and other bee product production.
Very interesting.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Solomon.
Thank you too.
Where do people get you?
Okay, my numbers.
Yes.
Make sure my numbers.
Yes.
My numbers are 07
Yes.
28 83 98. Actually, those numbers are on all the time, and I'm very ready to get any call. 0728 83.
Number again?
Yeah, 0728 83 98 92.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if you would like to get more information, if you'd like your apiary to be
Inspected.
to be checked, so that you can be able to be successful in, especially this harvesting season that will begin in December, January, this is the right time. So if you want, I will repeat the number again. The number for Solomon is 0728 839 892. We will also put it in the comment section. We'll also share his link, his social media handles in the links below, so that you can be able to get more information. Most importantly, what happens in your beehive, because that is the most critical. Just as you do the normal farming, we always ask ourselves, what happens in our soil?
Yeah.
Do we put fertilizer? Do we test our soil? All that is very important for you as a beekeeper, as we have learned today. Later on in the day, I will actually be doing an inspection of an apiary in close to Namanga, and we will also share this information. This will be your first Diagnostics Tuesday, where we will be actually right on the farm in an apiary, getting to understand how do you inspect a beehive, how do you make sure that it is something that you can actually pride yourself in showcasing it. But most importantly, we'll also see what have we done wrong so that we can correct it. Always remember to ask the experts in the industry for you to succeed. This has been a brilliant morning. I really love to say that those who have made this a success, from my director Dotrin to my producer Mary, having made this a success, as well as the team behind this, thank you very much. And for those who have been watching this morning, this has been a fantastic day talking about beekeeping, and most importantly, what is not just trending, but how can you as a farmer transform from just a producer into a business person. See you tomorrow, same time.
Thank you.
Across the sun.